John Hewitt, and you are watching After Hours at the Commodore.
Yeah, there's the new best one.
I'm going to do a little love ballad that came out on my latest record back in December of 2023, and the song is called The Greatest Line. And I've met a lot of country songwriters out there and sort of touring on the road, and I decided I'd try and write a country song, but I didn't want to write sort of the modern country. I wanted to dig back into the traditional countryside. So this is a more traditional country song, I think, called The Greatest Line. Well, if only I could tell her what she means to me. If only I could tell her what she means to me. If we could change the world, one sweet melody at a time. If the world was just a song, she would be the greatest line. Heard a folk song on the radio. It brought me back to 68. Making love to napalm in Vietnam, few years out from Watergate. And if we could change the world, one sweet melody at a time. If the world was just a song, she would be the greatest line. And I know that it's not easy. Think about all the things that I cast doubt on. And I know that it's not easy. Think about all the things that you missed out on. If we could change the world, one sweet melody at a time. If the world was just a song, she would be the greatest line. If only I could tell her what she means to me. If only I could tell her what she means to me. If we could change the world, one sweet melody at a time. If the world was just a song, she would be the greatest line. Yeah, if the world was just a song, she would be the greatest line. Thank you. These days don't seem to last like they used to. These nights are nothing I can get used to. You can tell me if I need to change. You can tell me if I need to change. Wherever you are tonight, my love, don't let it get you down. Wherever you are tonight, my love, don't try to satisfy anybody but yourself. These arms just can't wait to be holding you. This heart beats like a kick drum in New Orleans. You can tell me if I need to change. You can tell me if I need to change. Wherever you are tonight, my love, don't let it get you down. Wherever you are tonight, my love, don't try to satisfy anybody but yourself. Wherever you are tonight, my love, don't let it get you down. Wherever you are tonight, my love, don't try to satisfy. Never try to satisfy. Don't try to satisfy anybody but yourself. Thank you. I tour a lot, so I've been on the road the last 2 years. Last year I was at least 6 or 7 months on the road, and majority of it stateside, and headed down to California and Colorado. And I love touring, but there are a lot of aspects of the industry that are tough and maybe unnecessarily tough. Not that you shouldn't have to work hard, I think you should, but I had this idea that, there's a lot of artists that I see that are really good, but they're still going to have a really hard time getting to the next level, just based on sort of how I perceive the industry sort of runs and how it ebbs and flows. So I wanted to start an agency that supported artists, like-minded artists that have, strong writing, strong music in general, the stuff that I look at it and go, I would buy this, which I think most people who get to the top of an agency or a label or something, hopefully everything they're putting out is something they truly believe in. And that's sort of was my inspiration. And I started a company called Second Sunset. And we produce shows sort of on the smaller scale. We have a Gordon Lightfoot tribute, and I'm working with Jed and the Valentine and Abigail Comst, who is based out of Nashville and coming to Canada for the first time in June 2024. And a few other artists, including myself, and just really wanted to create a collective and build upon it and sort of try and, as they say, more heads are better than one. So we've got a bunch of people, artists working at the same time, crossing paths, collaborating, writing together, and hopefully that builds and builds and builds and becomes something. As I've got over 60 shows in the summer and the fall between the 4 different acts, touring around Alberta, BC, some in the States. I'm going to the States and in British Columbia, and I've got some U.S. artists I work with coming up here. So there's a lot going on that I'm pretty excited about, and it's like a lot of things. You're waiting 6 months to a year to sort of see the fruits of your labor start to take place, and the next month or so that all starts to happen. And it's been 6 to 8 months in the making, so I'm looking forward to it. This is a song, speaking of songs where, where the things line up, the words line up, and if it doesn't necessarily have to make sense to me, if the words feel right. And this is a song that I started writing. Started off as sort of a mid-tempo, lilting little love song, and then it turned into a weird song about Cinderella. And I don't know how that happened, but there's no turning back now. So this is called Sit Down, Kid. Sit down, kid. Tell me about the war. It mustn't be easy when everything happened before you were born. You better stand up, kid. Get ready to fight. Not always easy, and you're not always right. So how does she look so good on a Saturday night? It just ain't right. How does she look so good on a Saturday night? It just ain't right. Just ain't right. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You better get smart, kid. To be kind. It's not always easy to gain peace of mind. Cinderella in the basement with a gun. If the shoe was on the other foot, she'd still just have one. The paparazzi, they're banging on her door. They all want to see this little princess doing chores. How does she look so good on a Saturday night? It just ain't right. How does she look so good on a Saturday night? Just ain't right.
just ain't right. Now. So how does she look so good on a Saturday night? It just ain't right. How does she look so good on a Saturday night? It just ain't right. It just ain't right. It just ain't right. It just ain't right.
Well, thank you so very much for having me here after hours at the Commodore.